What if I told you that the secret to the biggest, juiciest tomatoes you've ever grown is already in your backyard? And you've probably been trying to get rid of it for years. Today, we're uncovering the truth about a common plant, often mistaken for a pesky weed, that is actually the single best fertilizer for your tomato plants. It's a complete game changer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify this plant, harness its incredible power, and create a free, organic superfood that will make your neighbors green with envy. Before we dive in, let me ask you, do you believe there's a miracle plant for gardening? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and let's see if I can convince you. The plant we're talking about is called comfrey. And no, this isn't some new age gardening fad. Comfrey has been a legendary plant in both agriculture and traditional medicine for centuries. So, why is it so special? The answer lies deep beneath the soil. Comfrey has an incredibly long and powerful taproot, sometimes reaching down 10 feet or more. This allows it to act like a natural mining operation. It pulls up valuable minerals and nutrients from deep in the subsoil, nutrients that the shallow roots of most garden plants, including your tomatoes, could never reach. It then stores these nutrients in its large, fast-growing leaves. This process is called dynamic accumulation, and comfrey is one of the best dynamic accumulators on the planet. It's essentially a living, breathing factory for creating perfect, balanced plant food. So, let's talk about the first and most critical step, identifying your new secret weapon. Comfrey, or its scientific name Symphytum officinale, is a fairly distinct plant once you know what to look for. It grows in a large clump, producing big, broad, and somewhat floppy leaves. These leaves are dark green and covered in coarse hairs, giving them a slightly fuzzy or prickly texture. The plant produces clusters of bell-shaped flowers that hang downwards, and they can be a range of colors, from purple and blue to cream or pink. However, there is a very important word of caution here. You must be absolutely certain you are not confusing comfrey with foxglove, which is highly toxic. Foxglove has similar bell-shaped flowers, but its leaves are generally softer, less hairy, and have a more scalloped edge. Always do your research, use a plant identification app, or consult an experienced gardener if you have even the slightest doubt. Safety first is the #1 rule in the garden. Now let's get into the science of why this plant is a superfood for your tomatoes. When we talk about fertilizers, we often hear about the NPK ratio. This stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the three main macronutrients plants need to thrive. Nitrogen is for leafy growth, phosphorus is for root development, and potassium is the king when it comes to flowering. And, most importantly for us, fruiting. Tomatoes are incredibly heavy feeders of potassium. They need a constant supply to produce an abundance of large, flavorful fruits. This is where comfrey shines. Its leaves have a near-perfect NPK ratio for fruiting plants, with an especially high concentration of potassium. It's like a custom-made energy drink for your tomatoes. But it doesn't stop there. Comfrey leaves also contain a wealth of other essential micronutrients, like calcium, magnesium, and iron, making it a truly complete and balanced meal for your plants. It provides everything they need, exactly when they need it. To get the most out of your comfrey, you need to know when and how to harvest it. The best time to cut the leaves is right before the plant begins to flower. This is the point when the concentration of nutrients stored in the leaves is at its absolute peak. You'll want to wear gloves for this job, as the little hairs on the leaves can cause minor skin irritation for some people. The process itself is simple. Using a pair of shears or a small scythe, cut the leaves down to about 2 inches from the ground. Don't worry about harming the plant. You're actually doing it a favor. Comfrey is incredibly vigorous and resilient. Cutting it back encourages fresh, new growth. You can typically get 3 to 5 full harvests from a single healthy plant in one growing season. It's a gift that literally keeps on giving, providing you with a continuous supply of free, high-quality fertilizer from spring all the way through fall. Let's start with the easiest method for using your harvested comfrey, a technique called chop and drop. It is exactly as simple as it sounds, and it's perfect for anyone who wants an effective, low-effort solution. After you've harvested your comfrey leaves, all you need to do is roughly chop them up and lay them down as a thick layer of mulch around the base of your tomato plants. As these nutrient-packed leaves slowly decompose, they release all of their goodness directly into the top layer of the soil. The rain and your regular watering will help wash these nutrients down to the root zone, where your tomatoes can easily absorb them. This method has a fantastic secondary benefit too. The layer of comfrey leaves acts as an excellent organic mulch. It helps to suppress the growth of other, less desirable weeds, and it significantly reduces water evaporation from the soil, meaning you'll have to water your plants less often. It feeds your plants, protects the soil, and saves you time and water. It's a win-win-win. Now for a more advanced and arguably more potent method, brewing your own concentrated liquid fertilizer, often called Comfrey tea. I have to warn you, this process is famous for one thing: the smell. It is incredibly stinky, but that powerful odor is the sign that you're creating something truly amazing for your garden. To make it, you'll need a large bucket with a lid. Tightly pack the bucket full of your freshly harvested comfrey leaves. You can weigh them down with a brick or a large stone to keep them compressed. Now, fill the bucket with water, just enough to cover the leaves. Put the lid on, but not too tightly, as some gases will need to escape. Then, you just let it sit and steep for about 3 to 5 weeks in a corner of your yard. Over time, the leaves will break down into a dark, thick, and nutrient-rich slurry. This dark liquid is pure gold for your garden, a concentrated shot of everything your tomatoes crave. Just be prepared to hold your nose when you open that lid. Once your comfrey tea has finished brewing and you've braved the smell, you now have a powerful liquid concentrate. It's crucial to understand that this stuff is far too strong to be used directly on your plants. You must dilute it first, or you risk burning their roots. The general rule of thumb is to use a dilution ratio of about 1 part comfrey tea to 10 or 15 parts water. You're looking for the mixture to be the color of weak black tea. Once diluted, you can add it to your watering can. The best way to apply it is by watering the soil directly around the base of your tomato plants. Try to avoid splashing the mixture onto the leaves of the plant, as this can sometimes encourage fungal diseases in humid conditions. For best results, feed your tomatoes with this diluted liquid gold every 10 to 14 days throughout the growing season, paying special attention to the period when the plants are actively flowering and setting fruit. This will give them the boost they need to produce a truly massive harvest. Now let's address the elephant in the room. A common concern you might hear from other gardeners is that comfrey is invasive and will take over your entire yard. This is a valid point, and it's a myth that's worth debunking. The truth is, it depends on the variety of comfrey you are growing. The common comfrey, Symphytum officinale, does indeed spread aggressively by seed, and it can become a problem if not managed. However, there is a specific cultivated variety called Bocking 14 that is a game changer for gardeners. Bocking 14 is a sterile hybrid, which means it does not produce viable seeds. It will grow into a large, healthy clump, but it will not spread all over your garden. You can only propagate it through root cuttings. So, if you're looking to add this amazing plant to your garden, make sure you seek out the Bocking 14 variety. This way, you get all of the incredible fertilizing benefits without any of the worry about it becoming an uncontrollable weed. While we've been focusing on how amazing comfrey is for tomatoes, its benefits certainly don't stop there. This plant is a fantastic fertilizer for a wide range of other garden vegetables and flowers. Essentially, any plant that is a heavy feeder and produces a fruit or flower will absolutely love it. Think about your potatoes, peppers, cucumbers, eggplants, and all types of squash and melons. They all require high levels of potassium to be productive, and comfrey delivers it in spades. You can also use it to give your flowering perennials and annuals a boost to encourage more vibrant and longer-lasting blooms. And here's another great tip. Comfrey is a world-class compost activator. If your compost pile is a bit sluggish, just chop up a few comfrey leaves and mix them in. The high nitrogen content in the leaves will kickstart the decomposition process, heating up your pile and helping you get to that beautiful finished compost much faster. So there you have it. The humble comfrey plant, often mistaken for a weed, is actually a powerhouse of nutrients. It's a free, organic, and sustainable way to guarantee a bumper crop of delicious tomatoes and feed your entire garden. The most amazing part is that this isn't some new trick. Gardeners have been using this secret for centuries. By planting comfrey, you're just reclaiming ancient wisdom that big fertilizer companies would rather you forget about. You're creating a self-sufficient system right in your own backyard. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful and are ready to start your own comfrey patch, give this video a thumbs up And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next gardening secret. Now, I really want to hear from you. Have you ever used Comfrey in your garden? Or do you have another secret, natural fertilizer you swear by? Share your wisdom and your stories in the comments below.